Hi everybody, this is Lara at pureelliottwave.com with a cryptocurrency video. I'm going to look at two cryptocurrencies with you today. I'm going to update my analysis of Dogecoin. It's Dogecoin, not Dogecoin. There's no extra D in there, only one D, Dogecoin. And then I'm going to look at a new cryptocurrency, request from one of my members, Tony. I'm going to look at Voyager today and do a new analysis on that. I've already prepared my technical analysis, so I'll do the Elliott Wave analysis with you in an informal way. I like doing videos like this. And I want to let you know that I am now offering Bitcoin only analysis once a week every Monday when I have the weekly candlestick and data finalized. If you want to sign up for that, go to my website, pureelliottwave.com, click on the button on the home page, get Bitcoin weekly analysis, and the price is $40 US a month, and that's how you sign up. Okay, let's jump into the analysis. Let's look at Dogecoin first. Starting from the monthly chart, it's gone essentially sideways since I last analysed. Oh, it's gone higher and sideways. I think it was April, yeah, it was back in this month that I analysed it last, so it's gone up and sideways. This looks like it might be a triangle unfolding for a fourth wave. Could it be cycle 3 complete? It could be, but I don't know. We need to see lower time frames to see if that structure could be complete before we can answer that question. I'm going to leave the monthly chart as is for now. I think I'm going to leave the weekly chart. I'm going to look at the detail first. And I'm going to take a new chart. And, oh no, only one iron daily, Lara. And have a look at, could this be complete? I want to label this, considering the proportion, intermediate 2 lasted 117 days, primary 2 lasted 66 days. This looks like at least intermediate 3, so I'm going to delete everything in here, put this label up here, expand this out so I can see some detail and have a look and see, can I label this as a complete structure at the daily chart level? Let's see if that works. Oh no, don't want you to do that. Just 1 degree of labeling, thanks. Oh, I don't like that extended first wave, motive wave. No, I don't like that at all. That's just really unusual for cryptocurrencies to do that. So let's put this down here. I like 3 and 4 over there. Well, I want 4 over here. That looks like a really good zigzag. This looks like a pretty good impulse. Let's see. Nope, let's put this here, and then this works perfectly as an impulse. Nice. But I'll put that there. Could that be an ending diagonal for 5? Let's worry about that later. Could 4 be a triangle? What about 1? How does that subdivide? Is this the low? 0.00298? Yeah, it is. Okay, this might be a problem. Yeah, motive wave doesn't know how to do that because there's going to be a huge overlap here. This is what I mean. This is a problem, and this is... Oh, there is no overlap. What? Okay, it's a visual illusion. So the high for minuet 1, 0.003414. The low for minuet 4, 0.003640. Okay, there's no overlap. Very nice. The fifth wave, I think we might have to go down to lower time frames to see that. It looks like a 3-wave structure, doesn't it? But I think you'll probably find, and I don't have a lower time frame. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I'd put this over here and see 2 is probably an expanded flat. 4 is a quick shallow zigzag. It's pretty normal for cryptocurrencies. I think here's an expanded flat too. Pretty normal for cryptocurrencies, particularly in fifth waves, especially fifth waves to end third wave impulses, to have that curved look that commodities have. This all looks pretty good. So yeah, it's possible. Now, can I see this fourth wave as a triangle? A, B, C. No, that's not. Nope, that doesn't work. What if we include this? A, B, C, D, E. No, D would move beyond the end of B. That doesn't work. So I have to put this here. That's a zigzag. Oh, okay. So then how would this subdivide? Oh, it's such an extreme market. It just doesn't even look right on a semi-log scale. Well, huge curve. This is a fifth wave, possibly, if this wave count's correct, to end a third wave impulse 1 degree higher. So I would have no problem seeing this, but could 1 have ended up here as a leading diagonal and 2 could be over here? Let's have a look at that. Looking at the wavelengths. Oh yeah, so 1 is 0.1746, 2 is 0.171, sorry, 3 is shorter than 1, 5 is shorter than 3, 5 moves beyond the end of 3, fifth waves for diagonals may not be truncated, 4 is shorter than 2, the wavelengths meet the rules for a contracting diagonal. What about the trend lines? Oh, perfect. Yep, I like that. Diagonals should find strong support and resistance with their trend lines. And the trend lines are commonly, not always, but commonly tested within the diagonal. Here we've got tests of support down here, test of resistance here, and the final fifth wave there. That looks really good. I'm happy with that. Little zigzag here. Okay, now the third wave, the middle of this portion, that's the key for your Elliott wave count. Can the middle of the third wave subdivide correctly? Actually, I think I want to put that here. And then let's see. Is there an overlap here? Yeah, there is. So let's put this up here. Well, you're going to have to put this here. Okay, I think we might have another diagonal in here. No, that can't be. Nope. What if we have 1 and 2 here? Could subminuet 1 have been a diagonal? Okay, 3 is longer than 1, 4 is longer than 2, 5 is longer than 3. And the 2-4 trend lines adhered to, not ideal, but it meets all the rules and doesn't look too bad. Okay, so that works. So we've checked the detail of that. That works. Okay, yeah, it's possible that intermediate 3 could be over, intermediate 4 could be underway. I'm going to change this here. Let's put this here at the weekly chart level. Let's see this. Now the question is intermediate 4 over. Intermediate 2 lasted 17 weeks. Intermediate 4, if it was over there, it was 11 weeks. If it's a triangle, it could be longer lasting than intermediate 2. Intermediate 2 looks like a zigzag. Intermediate 4, if it's over here, maybe a double zigzag. Still some alternation. If it's continuing further as a triangle, let's put some labels in for that. It could be a regular barrier triangle, and I would expect this trend line to be adhered to. I think I might want to label it like that, particularly as D, this wave here, looks quite like a corrective structure, not an upward impulse. Okay, let's adjust this channel. Let's see if Elliott's technique works here. From 1 to 3, Copy on 2 is not going to work. Okay, second technique. From 2 to 4, which isn't over, so let's put it there for now. Copy on 3, that's not really particularly helpful and doesn't look very good. Markets with curved waves, because they have more time-consuming second waves than their counterpart fourth waves, like commodities and cryptocurrencies, often don't fit really well in trend channels. Let's try best fit channel. Let's put this here. And put this here. I don't like that at all. No. I think I want to put this here and this here. No. The last low. That's just not really very good either. I just can't get this channel to really work. I think this is probably going to be the best option. Just, it's not working at all, is it? Let's delete it. That's my new wave count for Dogecoin. Fourth wave at intermediate degree. Probably a triangle. Still to complete. Let's expand that out. I would expect E to fall a little short of the AC trend line. So to end about here, those trend lines are being nicely adhered to. I'm not going to spend too much time on the details of this. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. I'd expect an upward breakout. Let's take a look at some classic analysis for Dogecoin. It's in a huge consolidation. ADX is declining. The DX lines are not whipsawing, but they're crossing over here, getting close here, getting close here. Pretty clearly no clear trend. Price is moving sideways with resistance about 0.35, support about 0.17. And within there, pretty good support about 0.195. Here's a death cross, the 55. I use a Fibonacci 55, not 50. 55-day moving average crossing below the long-term 200-day moving average. That's bearish. The situation with the moving averages is inconclusive, leaning bearish. The long-term average looks essentially flat. The mid-term average has got a positive slope. The short and the mid are both below the long, and price is below the long. So inconclusive, leaning bearish. Bearish candlestick pattern here and a shooting star. This is a bullish hammer pattern, but within a consolidation, I'm not going to give that too much weight. Long upper wick here, unsurprisingly getting downward movement. Long lower wick here, look for a bit of an upward movement, but not necessarily yet an upward breakout. So for Dogecoin, I think we need to see a break above resistance on an upward session with support from volume for confidence that the upward trend has resumed. While that hasn't happened, look for support about 0.195 and 0.17. It looks like an upward swing from here to here, ended here at the shooting star. A downward swing may have been over here. What's stochastics doing? Yep, upward swing, downward swing, upward swing. Stochastics almost reaching overbought up to here, so looks like the upward swing could be finished. Let's expect overall a downward swing to support to end when price gets to support and stochastics gets to oversold. I'd expect it here, it reached fully into oversold. I'd expect it to actually reach properly oversold, both of the trend lines to be below 20. If that happens, look for the end of a downward swing and then a new upward swing. So this is a range bound market. The volume profile looks bullish. Price moves lower here, volume overall declining. Lower here, volume still declining. A little bit of an increase here for upward sessions, and again here and here for upward sessions. Here, price is moving overall lower, volume declining. So the volume profile looks bullish. It looks like there's more pressure from buyers than there is from sellers I would expect an upward breakout from this consolidation may be more likely than downward. On balance volume not giving us a signal. There's a range to watch. It doesn't have strong technical significance though, but if we get a break above resistance or below support, that could be a signal from on balance volume. We've been over ADX, RSI is in neutral territory, stochastics neutral, we've been over that. Weekly chart level, it looks like there's a huge triangle unfolding sideways. This is not the same as an Elliott Wave triangle. The rules for classic triangle patterns are different. Elliott Wave triangles are always continuation patterns, but classic triangle patterns are either continuation or reversal patterns. You need to wait for a break above resistance or below support for confidence in the direction out of the triangle. Above resistance requires support from volume, below support does not. Once you have a breakout, you add the widest part of the triangle, which here is from this high to this low, to the breakout point, either above or below, and there's your target for the following movement. So that's how we'll use the triangle in coming weeks. Watch for a breakout from that triangle. Nice trend line here, tested here, resistance here. This one also, good support for this big triangle. Volume for the weekly chart level also is bullish. On balance volume here gives a bullish signal breaking above resistance, but this resistance line has some slope. It's long held, but it's got too much of a slope and only 2 tests. So this is a pretty weak bullish signal, but add this to the volume profile being bullish and ATR supporting bullish movement rather than bearish, and the situation looks most likely to see an upward breakout for Dogecoin. RSI neutral. ADX at this time frame says there is an upward trend, so again the balance of probability leans toward an upward breakout from that triangle. Stochastics neutral, ATR declining as price consolidates. Let's have a quick look at ATR. It increases as price rises here, price is rising here, ATR shows an increase. Price falls through here to here, price falls and ATR declines. There's more support from buyers than there is from sellers. So this is overall, I would read Dogecoin still as bullish. Quickly going back to the Elliott Wave count though, for me, in terms of my opportunities I'm looking for, it looks like it's still well above wave 1 price. If this is the end of cycle 1, cycle 2, it's still well out and above cycle 1 price territory, but I suspect we could actually move this all down 1 degree and we could see cycle wave 1 incomplete. And because it's so cheap at 25 cents and change, I think maybe I will have a punt on this one and maybe chuck just a little bit of money at it, add to my little growing collection there. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at Voyager. I haven't done any analysis on this yet. Let's start with a monthly chart. Oh, actually no, let's not. Let's start with a weekly chart for Voyager. Not a lot of data there. This is pretty new, isn't it? Squish this up a little bit. Let's just have a look at these early days. What's happening here? Possibly a leading diagonal from this low to this high. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know actually, to be honest, if this has enough volume for Elliott Wave analysis, but let's have a look. I want to know if I can see good looking Elliott Wave structures. If I can, then this could be part of an investment strategy. If I can't, I'll rely on technical analysis. So you're only going to answer the question if you actually have a look and have a go at trying to do Elliott Wave with this. Let's start off with, let's see, minor degree looks about right. So this is very, very early days. I would want to label minor 1 over here, minor 2 over is this low? No. 1.549, 1.56, so here's the low. Let's get this right down there at the beginning. Why will you not lock in there, Motive Wave? I'm going to get some labels in here and then expand that out and see if I can see that diagonal in there. And I think I want to see this over here. I think I want to see this over here. Okay, let's and this would be over here. Let's see if I can see that diagonal working. Okay, 3 is longer than 1. No, 5 is not longer than 3. 4 is shorter than 2. No, 2 has to be down here. That makes 3 even longer. 4.14. Oh no, 4 is longer than 2. Oh, it's a semi-log scale. But 5 is shorter. No, the wavelengths just don't work. That's rubbish. I think, actually, this works really well. Oh yeah, okay, so 1 over here and 2 an expanded flat. Very nice. Oh yes, that, yeah. A zigzag, B maybe a double zigzag. Okay, and 3, this looks pretty good. Great. Okay, happy with that. So very, very early days for this market. Let's have a look at daily. Can I lock this in here? Will you let me? No, that's strange. Okay, I'm not going to worry about the structure of minuet B there. It's just so academic at this point. Ace does look like a good zigzag though, doesn't it? A, B, C, B, probably a double zigzag. That looks all right. Oh, I see a nice expanded flat in here. I will actually put some labels in there so that you can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, so subminuet W, this looks like a good looking zigzag actually. Yeah, that's a zigzag. X really quick, and then within Y I can see a really nice looking expanded flat. So if you see A over here and then B, you know what? It could be an expanding triangle. The key to the difference, okay, I'm going to label it both ways. This is one of the reasons why I don't think I've ever seen a good expanding triangle, but oh, you know what? This might actually be one. Because submicro C, that doesn't look like a good 5, does it? That looks like a 3. The way I've labelled it here, this zigzag, starting here, ending here, labelled subminuet Y. At micro degree A, B, C. B I've labelled it as an expanded flat. A, B, C. Should subdivide 3, 3, 5. You'd have to go down to a lower level to see submicro A as a 3. It could be. Submicro B, also I've labelled as an expanded flat, but submicro C should be a 5-wave structure, not a 3. And it looks like a 3, doesn't it? So that labelling looks wrong, but I'll tell you what does look right. An expanding triangle, but do the trend lines work? They certainly do. Yeah. So all of the subwaves should be zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Yep, this could be a zigzag. This could be. Submicro D could be. Submicro E, certainly this does look like a zigzag. Do I really need to spend too much time on that? I don't think so. Okay, moving on. I think subminuet 1 here looks like a pretty good impulse. Yep. Do I want to spend time on subminuet 1? No. Doesn't matter. Not too much. Again, subminuet 2 could be an expanded flat. But C doesn't look right, does it? No. Subminuet 1 could be a leading diagonal. Either way, I want to leave it there and move on. This looks pretty good. These proportions look good. This looks good. 4, this looks like a triangle. Regular contracting, the most common type. Yep. Do the trend lines work? Oh no, I want to put that here. No, it doesn't work. It does work. Yeah, okay, that works. So minor 1, minor 2, starting minor 3 with minute 1 and 2. I don't want to spend too much time on the structure of minor 2. Minute 1, okay, if the upward trend has resumed, this should subdivide as an impulse or diagonal, and that looks pretty good, and this looks like a really nice expanded flat. Yep. Okay. The third wave looks like a really good impulse. No, I would want to put that here. I mean, it could be either, oh no, actually, you know, you could put this here, there, and then you put this here, no, here, and then the middle of the third wave is a really nice impulse. Not like that, like this. Yeah. That, oh no. Here, and that there, yeah, like that. Okay. Do I want to worry about the structure of minute 2? No. I reckon it's probably over there because it's so very, very deep, and proportions 10 weeks versus 21 weeks. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, I think that's it for Voyager. I think it's still in its very, very early days. And I think it's in the early stages of a third wave. So if it's in the early stages of minor wave 3, then price is still within minor wave 1 price territory. We can use Elliott Wave rules here to give an idea as to whether or not this could be a good opportunity. And one of the Elliott Wave rules that I would apply here is minor wave 3 must move beyond the end of 1, and it has to move far enough above the end of 1 to then allow wave 4 to unfold and remain above wave 1 price territory. And looking back at the price history, this fourth wave is way above here. This fourth wave's still a pretty good gap. So, and for minute 3 as well, that has to move beyond the end of 1 far enough to then allow minute 4 to unfold and remain above wave 1 price territory. So with price still in both minor and minute wave 1 price territory, if this Elliott wave count is correct, not only is there a very, very long way up to go for this market, but once it gets up there, this should be final support. It shouldn't reach back down into this price territory, if it ever even does, for a very, very long time. It could do eventually when minor 3, 4 and 5 are complete, and then intermediate 1 would be complete, and then the invalidation point eventually for intermediate 2 would be the start right back down here. But that's a long way away yet. I suspect I might have a go at this for a shorter term opportunity and keep an eye on it a bit more regularly. Thanks to Tony, my member, for asking me to have a look at that one. That was a good idea. Let's take a look at it now. Classic technical analysis. Weekly first. It looks really thin and it's got weird looking candlesticks. Here's a huge hammer pattern hammering out a low at this major low down here. At this high, RSI reached deeply overbought. This is a very extreme market, and then gave us nice indication of some downward movement with a strong single bearish divergence. ADX got pretty extreme, not as extreme as it can get for these cryptocurrencies, but it was above 45, it was above 60, which for cryptocurrencies I would say is extreme. They can get above 70 or even 80 for some of them. Above 60 is very extreme, and above both DX lines. It's back down at pretty low levels, rising up from not very low levels, but reasonably low for this market anyway. The positive DX line's above the negative. At this time frame, an upward trend is now indicated, but pretty obviously price is actually consolidating. Resistance $9.37, support about 25 cents. Lots of long lower wicks here around support. I would suggest an upward swing or an upward breakout sooner rather than later for this one. Volume flattening off as price is essentially moving sideways. Volume pushes price higher here, volume declines as price falls, pushes price higher, declines as price falls. Did have some decline at the final high. That's another thing to look out for sustainable tops in cryptocurrencies. Bearish divergence, extreme with RSI after RSI reaches deeply overbought. ADX reaching very extreme, remaining there for a while, and then a vertical rise. We didn't see a vertical rise here though, but volume declining at the end. So we have strongest volume early on, that's a little unusual, but volume declining at the end, that's a strong indication of some weakness at the end. I haven't noted it on the chart, but here's a shooting star candlestick pattern at this high. Within a consolidation, we shouldn't be noting any of these candlesticks as reversal patterns. In order for a candlestick to be a reversal pattern, it has to have something to reverse. So you really should be noting candlesticks, reversal patterns in the context of a trend, not a consolidation. So I'm not going to note any of these as hammers, but I am going to note multiple long lower wicks finding support. RSI well back in neutral territory, pretty much perfectly neutral, plenty of room for this upward trend to continue. What about the daily chart level? What's happening here? Lots of gaps. This market's really thin with weird looking candles. Here's with the daily chart level an upward trend, shooting star, downward movement, hammer. There's another hammer here, didn't hammer out a low, price essentially moved sideways and then moved lower. Another long lower wick here, support about 25 cents, resistance here about $7.38. The moving average situation is overall bearish. The long, mid and short are all negatively sloped. Price is below the long, but it's above the mid and the short today. So overall that's bearish, but not fully so. There's at the daily chart level we can see more support for upward movement than downward, although here volume did offer some push to move price lower. A little bit here, a little bit here, but more push from buyers than sellers. Bearish signal here, bullish signal here, bullish signal here, no signal here. On balance, volume has a narrow range, but it doesn't have good technical significance. ADX agrees that price is consolidating, it's declining. The DX lines are whipsawing, no clear trend at this time frame. RSI neutral territory, we had triple bearish divergence with price at this high up here, not the major high, but an important high, and after that we saw some downward movement. At the daily chart level, ADX reached above 50 but not above 60. RSI reached overbought but not as strongly as it can for these cryptocurrencies. Stochastics in neutral territory, ATR increasing as price moves lower is bearish, so a bit of a mixed bag. I expect we're probably more likely to get an upward breakout for Voyager, but I'm not as confident on this one as I am on Doge. So I don't know. And the price, a couple of dollars, if I might consider, I'll check to see if my broker offers it and if my wallet supports it. And if both of those tick yes, I might buy just a little bit of this, but I'll look at this for a more short-term opportunity. And it's close to support at the moment. Where's the bigger picture here? Yeah, it's not that close to support. If it gets back down to about 25 cents, definitely I would. But it is below its all-time high, so I think I might consider that one. I might leave it for a few days and just watch it first. Okay, that's all from me. And again, if you want weekly Bitcoin analysis, and I do that in a much more formal way with you, I prepare all my charts and then I go through and summarize it quite quickly for you. If you'd like some Bitcoin analysis weekly, then you can sign up for that on my website. And this last video I put up on my YouTube channel, I went through every week of my main wave count charts that I've been providing for my membership since I started providing members with weekly Bitcoin analysis to show you my accuracy or lack of. So if you want to see what you're getting, you can have a look at that video where I summarize my prediction for each week and jump forward a week and see how did that work or not? And spoiler alert, it actually worked pretty well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my subscribers for your support, and I'll see you again next time.